fairly special occasion. So the first thing I would like to do is say that I've been talking about, and Jeff has been talking about all weekend, that we were going to have members of our Board of Trustees here, and you may or may not have met any of them yet, but if you haven't, 6 of them are sitting at this table right here, and I would encourage you. I would encourage you to come up and say hello and introduce yourself after lunch. They are a very important part of this organization, and one that's often, I think, invisible to fellows, because fellows don't get a chance to meet with our trustees all that often. So I'll just say by name and they can wave. At our table is Bae Seville, who has joined us very recently. We're very happy to have her. Paul Kurbis, who I think has been visiting some of you, and he should look fairly familiar. Larry Tint. Heather Buskirk, who I think most of you know by now. Lucy Work-Adams. And, of course, our founder and our chairman, C.Harry Knowles. You all may know this is no ordinary event. We are here to celebrate a very important birthday for Harry and express our thanks and gratitude for everything he has made possible over the last 20 years that this foundation's been in existence. So it's not every day that a man gets to celebrate his 29th birthday. So Harry, it is a joy to be here. And Harry was absolutely adamant that we keep this simple and low key. And we kind of tried, but that's not our strength, so we'll do what we can. So I am going to step aside and turn it over to the birthday boy himself and let him speak to you.
Wow. Yesterday morning, in anticipation of having to perform, I awoke from one of the most incredibly exhilarating dreams that I've ever experienced. No, it's not one of those. It was 1954, and some of you here may remember 1954. I was in a classroom at Bell Laboratories, and I was teaching a group of brilliant friends, young scientists and engineers in what was called Kelly College, and they were only a year behind me. Yes, that's right. The topic was p-n junction theory and transistors, and that was 1954. And how transistors work. I awoke amazingly ecstatic. And as usual, I tried to, when I do get dreams like that, to wake up and try to realize what they mean became, several decades ago, very important to me. I tried to get to the bottom of what my brain was really telling me. And from that dream, I was experiencing not just one level of ecstasy, that is, of teaching, but of the topic that I was on, which to me is the transistor and its dropout is probably one of the most profound technologies in the last 1,000 years. The implications of it are sitting amidst the middle of us. We can't get by without this little thing that will have close to a billion, trillion transistors in them. I was not only teaching, but I was teaching a topic that to me was just exciting. However, on waking up and sitting down and saying, what did it mean? I realized that being here with you is yet another higher level of meaning. That we here at Knowles get to experience, in addition to those two, we get to experience that we are building, structuring young minds of a group of people that certifiably are confused, they're growing out of the childhood state, they're in the transition state of trying to figure out who they are as adults. Their minds are flexible, they are dangerously flexible, and we here in this room, each of you, every day, stands with 100 of these young, impressionable future adults and help them shape their minds in the most remarkable way and in the most remarkable topics. That is yet another level of ecstasy in my mind that seldom and very few people get to experience. We guide those minds to help them build processes into structures within that brain of how they can structure themselves on what they can count on and what they can't count on. And we're doing it in topics that are not just your ordinary, a bunch of opinions and people who talk about thoughts and ideas, but we are teaching them on subjects where they learn to count on what those minds can encompass and where can they build platforms on solid truth. And truth today is becoming such a specious, difficult field that what we are doing here out of this room are building lives onto foundations in mechanisms that no other topic can do. And no other group in the world comes close to this group here, where we have the selection. Tough. I didn't realize until yesterday how tough it is to become a Knowles Fellow. I didn't. I never went through it. And I'm glad I didn't have to go through it. But we are currently, from within this group, building ourselves. I think the latest count is over 350 of us now. Each of us addressing, working with, loving, caring for, disciplining 100, maybe 110 average numbers. We are currently, during their 4 years of school, elevating 1% of the entire nation's high school graduates and fulfilling the processes that the board and the staff have been working on very strongly. Within the next 25 years, we will be up over 2%, maybe 2.5% of the entire national population. If you think you're lucky, let me just tell you, I am, to be amongst you all, about the luckiest person in the world. And to be going home and snuggling up with Lucy, who has, parenthetically, probably seen, you talk about dealing with human minds, you deal them abstractly from the outside. She has sliced open about 25,000 brains, probably more than any other person on earth, not to just say, wow, this is chicken soup, but how did this child live and die? And if you think that's means that she's tough to live with. Yes, she is. But I want you to know that Lucy and I thank you very much for letting us be part of your lives. We deeply appreciate being here. This endeavor that we're on is literally, truly a miracle. And I don't know what you believe. Some people call the world that we live in and the miracles that we feel. Some people say God did it. Others of us will say the laws of nature, and we're just discovering what those laws are. I won't say I don't care. I do care deeply. But what really matters is when you walk up to the lady at the pearly gates and she looks you in the eye, and you can say, this is what I did. And what I did as part of the fellows is a remarkable experience. Thank you for